got a mixed crowd here, so place your bets before you leave, and we'll see who comes out on top. But anyway, that's another dimension of Las Vegas. We got jobs on the Strip now. We got more construction going on. It's a real positive time. And who's going to ride that super speed train to California? That is so exciting. You know, I've been working on that for about, I don't want to tell you how many years, but Bob Miller first appointed me. Now, anybody in here remember Bob Miller? Some of you aren't even born when Bob Miller was governor, but okay. So it's that long ago, and now we've got the labor deals made, we got the environmental studies, we got the dollars, we are ready to go. You can ride that train down there to see the Olympics in 2026 in Southern California. So let's take a field trip. What do you say? That train is going to take cars off the road, clean up the air, create 30,000 labor jobs, good union jobs, 30,000. So now, you've had an administration that stood with you, that fought for you, that wanted to invest in our future. They walked the walk. Now we're counting on y'all to talk the talk. Doesn't seem like it's only January. It seems like the election's coming up pretty soon. But we got to be ready for it. We got to talk about the contrast. We got to talk about the accomplishments. We got to talk about the other side. We can't be shy about that because they will roll back all the progress that we have made. And they've said it. They don't even pretend like they won't. They have said that's what they're going to do. So my advice to you is don't let them sell you that same old shit and call it sugar. So I'm counting on you. I'm counting on you. We can do this, and we can do it together. And we have somebody here who can certainly do it with us, and that's why it's so exciting to have the Vice President Harris back here in town. Thank you all.
Please welcome U.S. Senator Catherine Cortez Masto.
Are we ready? Are we ready? Are we ready to kick off early voting right here? Right? We are the first in the West presidential primary. We are ready to show them who we are, right? All right. Listen, after today, after this rally, I'm actually going to go run and vote. And who am I voting for? President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, right? First of all, look, I have to make sure that we thank our IBEW, our local here, right, for hosting us. Local 357, they are just incredible. And, but not just our IBEW. We are a proud union town, right? This is what it's about. This is who we are. Why do I know? Because I grew up here and I'm from a union family. Thank you very much. And I know what it's our union families, and they fight for our rights. They fight for our wages, they fight for good jobs, and they fight for our health care and the right to retire with dignity. That's what this is about. So I know our organized labor. I know all of our families here growing up here. This is an incredibly diverse community and state. We are a majority-minority state. And we are so proud of that diversity because that's what strengthens us. But we have to continue to unify and work together. We've done so much here in the state of Nevada to fight for those rights. But we have to continue to do so, and that's what this rally is about. That's what it means going out and talking to our friends and neighbors, telling them who's standing with them to support them and who isn't. And I'll tell you what, it takes friends. It takes friends in Washington who are going to stand with us as well. And who are those friends? President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, right? Listen, here's how I know it, and here's how, as a former prosecutor, I will prosecute the case, is because I have watched them and worked with them, along with all of you, to ensure we are passing legislation dedicated to creating those good-paying union jobs, to supporting our families and protecting all of our rights. Now, I know you all remember this because this was something I don't think any of us had ever seen growing up here in Las Vegas and living here. We remember when the Strip went dark. You remember that? That was a horrible time. Jobs were shut, people were staying home to stay safe. But I'll tell you what, it was one president who came and worked with us to ensure that we could turn our economy around and come out of that horrific time. And that was President Biden and Vice President Harris. I know. They helped us get our economy back on our feet. They made sure that our small businesses could keep their doors open. They worked with us to provide health care coverage for our hospitality workers who were laid off. And they secured rental and mortgage assistance so Nevadans could stay in their homes. To me, that's fighting for working families right here in Nevada and across the country. Yes. Hey, but they weren't done then. Listen, then what did they do after that? They passed a bipartisan infrastructure package. They worked to ensure not only are we going to come out of this pandemic, but we're going to set you on a pathway to the future where we can actually create good-paying jobs, those union jobs as well, fixing our roads, bridges, highways, and setting us on a path so we can address this climate crisis, right? And create an opportunity for clean energy jobs. That was in that bipartisan infrastructure package. And just last month, President Biden joined us right here in Las Vegas to celebrate the new Brightline West project. That will bring in, that project alone is going to bring in an estimated 35,000 jobs right here in Southern Nevada. And finally, as we all know, finally connect Southern California and Las Vegas with high-speed rail. Think about this. And I'm here to tell you, you all know this, that is the first high-speed rail we are going to see in this country, and it's going to be right here. Right here. Now, to me, that's fighting for working families. But let me just say, they weren't done yet. Weren't done yet. Because we all know, as we are been fighting and talking about the issues that are impacting our families, including high costs, it's access to health care, right? Affordable health care, access to that health care, reducing those costs that are important for all of us. And knowing this, our friends in Washington, President Biden, Vice President Harris, worked to ensure that we can pass the Inflation Reduction Act. And what did that do? This was a big deal because for the first time, not only did they cap the cost of insulin at $35 per month for seniors, for the first time we had to fight Big Pharma so that we could negotiate those prescription drug costs and lower those costs for seniors. And we did it. Took on Big Pharma and fight to lower those costs. Listen, now seniors can also, they can access free vaccines, right? And why is that important? Because the goal here is to ensure not only just fighting for seniors, but we're fighting for all families. Because I am here to tell you, as not only did I stand in the Senate to vote for this legislation and fight for it, I voted for legislation to cap the cost of insulin for everyone, not just seniors. But you know who wasn't there with us? The Republicans. They refused to support that legislation. So that shows you who's fighting for families, who's fighting to address the cost of things that we see every single day, and who's on the side of billionaires and big corporations, big pharma, big oil. It certainly isn't President Biden and Vice President Harris, because they're in the trenches with us and they know what we are dealing with every single day. Now, I can go on and on and on, but I'm going to prosecute two more pieces of evidence for me why they are our friends in Washington. Women's right to choose. All right? Now, we are in Nevada a very proud pro-choice state. Thank you very much, Nevadans. I don't care what party you come from. I don't care your gender. We know that women should be able to access 21st century health care for their reproductive needs. Right? Yeah. That's right. That's right. And that's why we know up and down the ticket we have to continue to fight to elect Democrats, and those are going to stand with us and stand with women. Because I don't know about all of you, but I trust women to make this decision. I trust women, their doctors, and so many to make this decision. And so does the president. So does President Biden and Vice President Harris. But I want you to know that the Republicans and the right-wing Republicans, let me just say this, the right, far-right elected Republicans, because there are some Republicans in this state who believe the same way we do. Remember that. Remember, Nevadans, it's Republicans, Democrats, independents, men, women who believe that we should have the right to choose women in this country. But it is the far-right electeds, let me just say it, like Ted Cruz, Lindsey Graham, who has actually introduced a federal abortion ban. Why is that important to know? Because if we don't stand with our Democrats, if we do not stand with President Biden and Vice President Harris, if we do not fight to send Dina Titus, right, Stephen Horsford, Susie Lee back to Washington, if we do not fight to ensure Jackie Rosen is the next U.S. Senator again, then they will pass that federal abortion ban. And that will preempt everything that we have worked so hard for. That's what's at stake in this election. And that's why it is important we make every effort to ensure not only are we protecting what we have done here in Nevada up and down the ticket, our state house and our state legislators, some of them are here, making sure we return them. But we fight up and down that ticket here in Nevada, and we fight across the country. Here's what I want you to know. Here's what I want you to know. Because you turned out, because you helped me get reelected, last election, the Senate majority came down to 7,928 votes from Nevadans. That's how we held the Senate, because of all of you. You guys did that. That was less than a 1% margin. Can we do it again? Yes. We're going to knock on those doors? Are we going to make those phone calls? Yes. Are we going to get out in our community and talk to them and educate about the issues that matter and let them know who their friends are and who's going to stand with them? Yes, we are, Democrats. We are going to make it happen this time. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Please welcome President of Nevada Young Democrats, Maria Nieto Orta.
fellow Nevadans, esteemed guests, and distinguished leaders. My name is Maria Nieto Horta, and I stand before you with immense pride as the president of Young Democrats of Nevada. Tonight, in the vibrant heart of East Las Vegas, I am humbled and profoundly honored to introduce a true trailblazer, Vice President Kamala Harris, alongside a constellation of inspiring leaders here in the home of IBW Local 357. In this very city, where dreams are etched into the skyline, our journey as Young Democrats of Nevada reflects the tenacity and diversity of this silver state. Our executive board, composed of 21 dedicated members, mirrors the rich tapestry of Nevada, from our spirited chapters and caucuses that reach every corner of Nevada, including Black, AAPI, Tribal, Hispanic, and Latino, labor, LGBTQ+ communities, to the young minds shaping the future in our great nation, colleges, and universities. We are united in our diversity, steadfast in our mission. Just last year, we turned a new page in our history, hosting the YDA National Convention for the first time in 6 decades. Our halls brimmed with over 800 young Democrats from 46 states and territories, echoing our growing voice. From a humble list of 115 members, we have soared to over 530, broadening our reach, deepening our impact. And in a remarkable feat, we raised over $180,000, a record that speaks volumes of our collective passion and support of each of our members to our executive director. This isn't just our success, it's a beacon of hope for every young voice yearning to be heard. Let me take us back to 2018, a year that redefined my path and Nevada's destiny, where Senator Jackie Rosen and former Governor Steve Sisolak were running for their respective seats for the first time. It was during a Get Out to Vote event very similar like this, where I first publicly shared my story as being undocumented and a DACA recipient. I can't vote, so I organize, I said that night. Those words became my North Star, guiding me through countless campaigns, policy initiatives, and roles in organizations that empower Latino voters. The courage to stand here to speak and lead comes from my family. To my mother and sister here with us, and to my father tirelessly working even now. They are my unwavering pillars of strength. Mami, papi, ustedes son el ejemplo de personas trabajadoras y nada sería posible sin el apoyo de ustedes. When I think of hardworking people, my family, both blood and chosen, come to mind, and nothing would be possible without your support. My parents moved to the U.S. just 5 minutes away from here to give me and themselves a better future. Growing up in East Las Vegas is to live a story of resilience and community. It's taking public transportation to doctor's appointments with my mom. It's going to el supermercado. It's being able to speak in my birth country's language. It's having a full house all the time. It's being told, en la casa solo se habla español. You can only speak Spanish at home. It's driving 5 minutes up the street to support family-owned small businesses. It's where home isn't a place, but a feeling of belonging and love. Since coming to this country, my life has been entwined in this vibrant community. From working alongside Assemblyman Max Carter, who represents the soul of East Las Vegas, I have seen the power of unity, the richness of our culture, and the indomitable spirit of our people. To those visiting the East Side today, please love our community, our culture, and those around you, and patronize our small businesses. I can't vote, so I organize. This is my call to action. To eligible voters, please vote and encourage others who can to do so. To those who can't, let your actions inspire others. My journey has led me to be the first homeowner in my family, the soon-to-be first college graduate, the first elected Hispanic and Latino caucus chair, and now the first undocumented person to be the YDNV president. These milestones are not just personal victories. This is a testament of symbols, hopes, and resilience, but also a testament that when we can achieve when we refuse to be defined by our limitations. And tonight, we are graced by a leader who embodies the ethos of what it means to break barriers and shatter glass ceilings, Vice President Kamala Harris. Her journey marked by a series of historic firsts. The first Black woman district attorney in California, the first woman to be California's Attorney General, the first the first Indian American senator, and now the first Black, the first Asian American, and the first woman Vice President of the United States. This is a powerful reminder that we can break barriers. We pave the way for a brighter, more inclusive, and liberated democracy. My fellow Nevadans, with immense pride and unwavering respect, please join me in welcoming Vice President Kamala Harris.
It's good to be in the House of Labor, and it is good to be in Nevada. And I just want to, for a moment, talk about Maria. Listening to her words and knowing her deeds is to understand what true patriotism is about. Because that's somebody who loves our country and believes in the ideals of our country. That is someone who believes in the promise of our country and is working to make it real. What more could we ask for from a patriot than what we've got? Let's be clear about that. So it's good to be with you. It's good to be with you, including, of course, among the great leaders, my dear friend, Senator Cortez Masto. Where are you? She was on the stage. Catherine and I served as attorneys general together. We served in the Senate together, and I will tell you, you have a very powerful leader in Cortez Masto, who is a leader for Nevada and a national leader. Congressman Stephen Horsford, I thank you. He is the chair of the Congressional Black Caucus. He is a friend. He and I just spent the afternoon together, just spending some time with business leaders and small business leaders here in Nevada, and the work that you have been doing, Congressman, Chairman, to invest in community and to invest in the ambition and the natural capacity of community has been so extraordinary. I thank you for your leadership and your friendship. And Congresswoman Dina Titus, just a fighter through and through, and always fighting for Nevada's working families, and a great partner to the President and me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, and I also want to mention your incredible Senator Jackie Rosen. She is truly a fighter for the people of Nevada. She's on the road campaigning today, and in November we will re-elect her to the United States Senate. So with that, it is great to be back in Las Vegas. In fact, this is my second trip to Nevada this month, and my 10th as vice president. And for years before that, I have spent a lot of time in this beautiful state, from Carson City to Reno to Henderson to Vegas. And over the years, I have met here in this beautiful state with small business owners and entrepreneurs, with students at UNR and the College of Southern Nevada, and members of your state legislature who are here, and of course the first majority women state legislature in America. There she is, the leaders right there. And I have been proud to stand in solidarity with the folks who make this state run, the union workers of Nevada, the steel workers and carpenters and members of IBEW, and of course the workers of Culinary 226, who just won their biggest pay raise ever. So all of this to say, I know Nevada, and I love Nevada, and Nevada is, and Nevada, and I love you back. And Nevada truly is a reflection of America. And that's why you are, of course, the first primary state in the West. And as the dear, late, great Harry Reid always reminded us, if you can win in Nevada, you can win anywhere. And so, Harry, President Biden are going to prove you right once again. And just let's take for a moment to think back to 2020. Because I want to talk about who the folks are in this room and in this state. In the height of an historic pandemic, in the midst of so much loss and uncertainty, the people of Nevada showed up to vote, and you convinced your friends and your family members and neighbors and co-workers of the power of their vote and the power they have when they show up to vote. And it is because of your work that Joe Biden is President of the United States, and I am the first woman Vice President of the United States. It is because of your work. Your work. In 2020, you sent us to the White House because, frankly, we had some business to handle. We had some business to handle. In 2020, you said, we need to do something about the issue of student loan debt, and so we did. President Biden and I canceled more than $136 billion in student loan debt for more than 3.5 million people. And although the Republicans in Congress refused to work with us to cancel more debt for the millions more Americans who need it, we will not be deterred. President Biden and I will keep fighting for relief from student loan debt. In 2020, you told us we need to do something to lower health care costs, especially for insulin for our seniors. In fact, raise your hand if you have a friend or family member with diabetes. Right. For far too many years, too many of our seniors had to make the choice between either filling their prescription or putting food in their refrigerator. So President Biden and I took on Big Pharma, and we capped the cost of insulin for our seniors at $35 a month. Right, because of you. And we now are allowing the government and Medicare to negotiate drug prices such that we are capping the cost of prescription medication on an annual basis for our seniors at $2,000. $2,000 a year. In 2020, you told us our small businesses, the owners of small businesses, our entrepreneurs, they need more support. So President Biden and I invested hundreds of billions of dollars in small business owners and entrepreneurs across our nation. For example, we were together, Congressman Horsford, and we've been traveling around today and have done that for many years here in Nevada. Just earlier today, I met with Wani Romero. Wani is the CEO of Mothership, she loves the name of it, Mothership Coffee Roasters. And a few years ago, Wani needed to expand her business, but she didn't have the capital to do it. So we gave her a loan, which is how she has been able to open a new store, continue to grow her business, and hire and train locally her now more than 80 employees. And I'm going to tell you something that everybody here knows. See, that's how we do what we do. We're about investing in small businesses and the support they need to have access to capital versus what you get on the other side, which is supporting big corporations by decreasing their taxes. Take a look. Take a look when we're talking about our priorities and the principles upon which they're based. Since President Biden and I took office, we have seen record small business growth, including record Latino small business growth, driven, I will add, by Latinas like Ronnie. So this is just some of what we have accomplished since taking office. Over the past 3 years, President Biden and I have lowered costs, created opportunity, and are building a future where every person has the security, the opportunity, and the dignity that all people deserve. Now, today I'm told that former President Donald Trump is also in Vegas. And in his comments today, as always, he made clear his fight is not for the people. His fight is for himself. The former president openly talks about his intention to weaponize the Department of Justice. He openly says that he is, quote, proud that he overturned Roe versus Wade. Proud for taking the freedom of choice from millions of women and people in America? He openly talks about his admiration for dictators and has vowed he will be a dictator on day one. Now, understand what dictators do. Dictators jail journalists. Dictators jail journalists. Dictators suspend elections. Dictators take your rights. And Nevada, as the great Maya Angelou once said, when someone tells you who they are, believe them the first time. Well, the former president has told us who he is. And we must recognize the profound threat he poses to our freedoms and our democracy. We must recognize the profound threat posed by extremists across our nation who have been inspired, encouraged, and even cowered by the former president. In this moment, all across our nation, we are witnessing a full-on attack on hard-won, hard-fought freedoms and rights. The freedom to vote, the freedom to be safe from the horror of gun violence, the freedom to live without fear of hate or bigotry, the freedom to love who you love openly and with pride, the freedom to learn and acknowledge our nation's true and full history, the freedom of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government tell her what to do. We are clear. On that subject, one does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree. The government should not be telling her what to do with her body. Attack on fundamental freedoms. And so, when we win majorities in the United States Congress, and when Congress passes a bill that reinstates the protections of Roe v. Wade, President Joe Biden will sign it. Joe Biden will sign it. And all of this to say, on all these issues, and many more, who sits in the White House matters. It matters. In 2024, Nevada, freedom is on the ballot. Freedom is on the ballot, and our democracy is on the ballot. You know, I think that the nature of democracy is twofold. On the one hand, when a democracy is intact, it is very strong in terms of what it does to protect individual freedoms and rights, the strength it gives its people. On the other hand, it is very fragile. It is only as strong as our willingness to fight for it. So let us understand the urgency then of this moment. Let us understand that this is a moment for us to be strong and stand for the kind of country we want to live in. This is about standing for the kind of country we want to live in. And let us know our incredible power in this moment. Because just like in 2020, the people have the power to make our voices heard. And today is the first day for early voting in your primary election. Nearby at East Las Vegas Library and at polling places across the state, you can cast your ballot for President Joe Biden and me. So let's get to work, and in conclusion then, Nevada, I ask, are you ready to make your voices heard?